You ever hear somebody say something and you like wait to see them smile or laugh and it just doesn't come, like it never happens? So you're like, oh, you believe this. And then that makes that funnier. It's like, oh, this is unintentionally funny. Now I've got like the church giggles. Now I'm not supposed to laugh, but I can't stop. I kind of had that experience today. Cameron Boozer, one of the top recruits in the entire country, just won the Gatorade Player of the Year for high school sports. Male Player of the Year across all sports at the ESPYs last night. Gave one of the most unintentionally funny quotes. I mean, definitely of the summer, maybe longer. I'll read it for you. This was in a whole bunch of publications, but I read it first on ESPN. Cameron Boozer talking about Duke basketball. Duke. I think we have a special group. I think we're very overlooked right now. Overlooked right now is what he said about Duke basketball. But once the season starts, that'll change for sure. I think just playing together, playing hard, defending, competing, we're going to be in a spot to get to the Final Four, just like they did last year. End of quote. Cameron Boozer thinks Duke basketball is being overlooked. Got to put that chip on the shoulder for the old underdog, Duke basketball.
Me and the team with all those Final Four appearances and national championships and.
Oh, that team. Yes.
Oh, yeah, that team.
I'm going to illustrate in all the ways they're not being overlooked.
Okay.
So I went. I was like, maybe, right? Maybe I'm in this little triangle bubble, this college basketball mecca that is our area, and maybe the world is overlooking them. So I searched all of the way too early top 25s I could find, all of the post transfer portal top 25s I could find. On3 has them third in the country. USA Today has them second in the country. CBS and Fox, they hate on them so much, they have them ninth in the country. Andy Katz for NCAA.com has them second in the country going, I couldn't find anyone that had them outside the top 10.
I guess those two outside of the top 5, Tim.
You know, all those overlooked teams that people aren't paying attention to that are single digits in the country. Oh, by the way, if you think it's just that, I went and looked up NBA draft big boards for the upcoming 2026 NBA draft. Sports Illustrated has Cam Boozer 3rd, Nick Hamenia 9th, Dame Sarr 17th, Isaiah Evans 8th. They have 4 players from Duke in the top 18 picks. The Athletic hates a little more. They have 4 in the top 32. So they have 4 first-rounders, but they're all not, top half. They're all not lottery picks. Their recruiting class, the one that Cam Boozer is like the crown jewel of, their high school recruiting class was so highly ranked with the high school players, the 2 Boozers, Hamenia, a few others, that they have the number 1 ranked combined high school and transfer recruiting class in the country, according to 247 Sports, and their transfers are just one single 3-star incoming big man from Rice. So these other teams, the St. John's, the Louisvilles, these teams that brought in a ton of top transfers couldn't even catch up in rankings to Duke's high school incoming recruits. Yesterday, I'm on ESPN.com, perusing, reading, as you do when you work in sports media. I go to the college basketball tab. Guess what the top headline was? They had decided, ESPN had decided on the all-time Duke basketball roster, and it was the headline on their college basketball page. Spoiler alert, they had Reddick coming off the bench, and they had Cooper Flagg and Zion Williamson in the starting lineup. What? Keep in mind, it was July 16th, and there was no reason at all to be putting together a Duke basketball all-time starting lineup, but they did it. Why? Because they were looking at Duke. Because they weren't overlooking Duke. The Athletic is doing these top 25s of 25, right? Because it's the first 25 years of the century, so they're doing rankings of top 25 this, top 25 that. They chose Duke's 2000-2001 championship team as the best team of the last 25 years. Number 1. Now, you could argue yes or no on that. I know there's some UNC fans that thought one of their national champions should be the best team of the last 25. My point is, Duke is never overlooked. Duke is never slept on. And by the way, that's kind of part of the allure to go to Duke. You know you're getting everybody's best shot every game. You know everybody's always getting up for Duke. You know you're always going to be on national television a whole bunch. You know it, you know it, you know it. Why? Because that's why you go to Duke. His name, by the way, is Cameron Boozer. If anyone should know everything about Duke, he's named after Cameron Indoor Stadium. His dad was an All-American and national champion at Duke. He has a twin brother that is also a 5-star that is also going to Duke. Overlooked. And by the way, like I'm not knocking Duke for not being overlooked, right? It's in a weird way, it's a compliment, right? It's you don't get slept on because you've been so consistently good for a long time. It's just funny to hear. And I'll even take this one step further. Internally, believe whatever you want. It's just when you say it out loud, you're going to get clowned. I was just listening to a podcast with Trevor Lawrence, and Trevor Lawrence said at Clemson that he's like, I don't know how he did it, but Dabo Swinney had us thinking we were like underdogs going into every game when we were at Clemson. And it turned out that when he would, like the game he was talking about, saying like we thought we were underdogs, at that point in time, Trevor Lawrence in his life had never lost on a Saturday. Like going back to youth. And he won all the Saturday games in college. He won all the Saturday games in high school. And he won all the Saturday games in Pop Warner. And he said somehow he convinced us we were underdogs going into this game, despite the fact he had ETN, he had Justin Ross, and he had Renfro, and he had this. Or Renfro might have been gone by then. Whatever. He had all the best players. And he's like, Dabo had us thinking we were an underdog. But you know what they didn't do? They didn't go say, people are sleeping on us. Even if internally they were yelling about it. Because when you say it out loud, it's hilarious, if we're being real. Hilarious. So, get a good laugh. And maybe this is like the lesson, right? Because he's not even a college freshman yet. Maybe this is like when you say things at Duke, you're going to be scrutinized for everything you say. It's part of not being overlooked. If you're on an overlooked team, you could probably say something like this and the scrutiny wouldn't follow because, well, no one's looking. Congratulations on your Gatorade Player of the Year at the ESPYs yesterday. I hear that happens to overlooked players a whole bunch. You win, all-sport Player of the Year for the entire country on a nationally televised award show. That chip on your shoulder's growing, isn't it? I mean, this is joking, but it's also Duke's not getting overlooked. Not even a little bit. Do you know how I know? Because we find every different way to talk about Duke basketball here on this show. Nothing's falling through our fingers. Something's got to fill July.